Hi everyone in cyber world, welcome back to another video. I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Richard, and welcome to our channel we call Poor Man's DIY.
So look what we got, a big surprise right here. A big shipment from a local store, and they weren't supposed to deliver them for a couple weeks, but now since due to COVID, we were totally surprised when we received this.
Normally the local hardware store will, you can order big items and pay for it, or they might do a free delivery, but with COVID, to drum up more business, they're more open to delivering smaller bits of it, and the cost of it was really reasonable. They didn't charge us per item as they normally would have, so that made it really beneficial to us. So we had been planning for quite some time to do a bathroom renovation, and but the only problem is the cost was not going to be effective. We were going to have to rent a truck, go down to the store, load everything out, and bring it back, and so forth. And instead of doing that, we've just kind of been holding off, and now things worked out for us, and we put in a big order of a bunch of different things, and so they just kind of, they were supposed to give us an email first of when they were going to come.
But that's okay. That's okay.
They never emailed us, and a gentleman just came pounding on our door and scared us, but we have everything that we need. So what we're going to do here is we're going to make a series of videos every week for this bathroom renovation as kind of a tutorial to show you, to teach people who aren't experienced the poor man's way. We're going to show how we install the vanity. We've got tiles for the floor. We'll show how to do that. We're going to be removing the toilet and installing it. So we'll get into that. We're going to resurface the walls.
Painting, yes.
Painting.
Yes.
We're going to do some tile, we're going to do some medicine cabinets and a little bit more. So again, we'll be doing these as a series, and in between there we'll occasionally we'll do our other wood projects and so forth.
Yes.
So today, in addition to this introduction, we got something that we're going to include on this video, and what will that be?
Demolition time.
Demolition. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and start prepping up the bathroom to get everything so we can start working on this as soon as possible. That ought to be interesting, but as you guys probably feel the same, demo is the easiest and the most fun part, I guess,
oh, yes.
until you're actually finished. So we're going to go ahead and start working on it now.
Hello Cyber World, aka Mini Poorman here with aka Mr. Poorman and aka Baby Poorman. If you like this video, please
subscribe
or give it a thumbs up and comment down below.
And with that,
Cue music.
So the first thing we're going to do for the demolition is to remove the door from the hinge.
First step, in order to remove the door, we have to remove these pins that are holding it on the top and the bottom. Simply put a, probably a screwdriver or something that'll fit inside there, and tap it out. I recommend opening the door first. So, and off it comes.
Okay, so we're going to remove this from the wall, and to remove this, first you lift it up, and on the bottom here is you can't see it, but there's a tiny screw, and we're going to unscrew it. Because this is stuck with paint, we're going to have to tap it off, just like that. And now we have more screws to remove the plate from the wall. Okay, so the next step we're going to do is remove this toilet. Richard and I are going to keep this toilet because it's pretty new, so we don't need to replace it. So we're going to remove it, and the best place to remove it and place it is right in here in the tub.
Okay, in order to remove this toilet, the first thing that we're going to have to do is shut off the water so no additional water comes into this. And you do that with a valve on the bottom of the back. Turn it clockwise, and that shuts off the water. And then make sure it is emptied. All right, now we're going to have to disconnect the hose from the wall and the toilet itself, and that's done here by simply removing this. All right, now we're going to be draining the tank and the toilet, and the only way to do that is actually, even after you flush, there's some water in there, you're going to have to go in. Ideally, this would be done with a sponge, but I can't find a sponge. We're going to have to use an old towel that I'm throwing away when I'm done. So it's just a matter of going to the bottom of it and draining it.
Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is remove the toilet, but in order to do that, you're going to have to take these caps off right here. So just pop that off and take a wrench and push it on there, or start unwinding and unscrewing.
Right, now the toilet itself, everything has been disconnected, drained, and it's ready to be taken off. However, the bottom of the toilet is likely to have a sealant, a silicone sealant.
So our next step is we're going to take the toilet and place it in the bathtub. I have some old towels here that I'm going to lay down in the bathtub to place the toilet on top of it so it doesn't scratch the tub.
Okay, now we're ready to lift this and put it in the bathtub. However, there's something that's really important that you must be aware of. A lot of tanks, bathroom tanks, are actually two parts. The tank is not a part of the toilet itself. So when lifting this, do not lift from the tank. Grab the toilet itself anywhere you can and lift from there. If you pull from here, your seals and everything else could shatter, the bottom might drop and then just break all over the place. So be very careful, but always carry from the bottom parts. Okay, now that the toilet is gone, if you take a look down at this disgusting thing, this is what's referred to as a wax ring. So what we're going to do here is scrape it off and throw it away. When we reinstall, we'll show you how we do that. Now that the drain is open, the aroma, the smells, the gases and whatnot can come back up from this pipe because there's no longer a toilet on top of it. The next step we're going to do is we're going to take another old towel, we're going to stuff it in there and keep it there until we're ready to reinstall the toilet once again. All you have to do, shove it in there so that the fumes don't come out.
Now we're going to remove the medicine cabinet. So the first thing we're going to do is open it up and take out these shelves. We have 4 screws here that we're going to remove.
All right, Mrs. Poorman did all the hard work so far removing the shelves and the screws, but we also have to cut out any silicone that's attached to this thing, and it's kind of high up. So the taller person is the one who's going to work this part now. And that is how you remove a medicine cabinet. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do is disassemble the vanity. But before we do the disassembling of it, we have to turn off the water and disconnect the pipes, which is underneath. Now that we've turned off the water, we want to make sure the water is actually off. Once the water is cut off, we disconnect the hoses for the hot and cold water. Next, we loosen all the couplings to the pipes. Don't forget to put some kind of bucket under it before you disassemble. Right. We decided we probably should have done this before, but we're going to remove the doors so we have a little more space to work with.
Now we're going to remove the vanity from the area from the wall.
Because we are dealing with a mirror, there's always the fear that this thing could shatter. Use protective gear. We get lucky. Next is removing the vinyl flooring. Before removing the vinyl, you had to remove the baseboards first. And then you can pull off the flooring.
Is that all right?
Yes, I regret saying how easy demolition is. It took 6 hours to remove the adhesive that was left behind from the vinyl. The next thing we're going to do is remove this old ugly lighting. Each lighting is going to be different how they're removed. A lot of them, when you take off the light itself, there's some screws there that anchor it onto a bracket inside the wall. But I've noticed there's one screw up on this on the very top, and that seems to be the only thing to hold it, so we're going to go ahead and disassemble this now. Before you do this, be sure the power is off. Before we actually touch anything, we're going to use a little tester to make sure that there is no power going through it.
We appreciate you watching this long video, and we hope that you get some useful tips from the video.
Next week, we are actually not going to start the video series because we have a collaboration competition with several other YouTubers that we discussed a few weeks ago, and it is for an origami display. So next week is the week that we had promised, agreed to do, so we're going to post that, and then the following week we will start the series on the bathroom renovation. So until then, bye-bye.